As Emma Lazarus' famous decorative poem on the Statue of Liberty reads, as a celebration of and welcome to those seeking refuge in the great United States, give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. I stand before you not as your typical politician or ordinary Chicagoan, but rather as a Jewish woman deeply affected by the issue of income inequality and the economic health of communities across the United States, especially our beloved Chicago. My name is Natalia Krikorian, and I would like to earn your vote for this urban congressional district. Despite having a different religion from most Americans, the values embodied by Judaism are at the heart of the American experience and have helped guide me in my pursuit of the American dream. As an American Jewish woman, I can attest firsthand the harsh treatment of immigrants in this competitive economy. Here in Chicago, home to nation's meatpacking industry, we as a community seem perpetually trapped in employment opportunities with little ability to advance our wages and conditions that jeopardize our safety. The government, the very institution designed to assist us in times of need, has been one of the very culprits in our misfortunes. Most people think that this has been an era of unrestricted capitalism, but in actuality, industrial America is a product of a massive public-private partnership in which the government has played critical roles. I believe that it is time for the government to take ownership and give back to the people who it has left poor as a product of the system that puts wealth in the hands of very few. We are living in an era of capitalism and explosive economic growth, and these massive corporations have come to dominate our society. It has created the successful and wealthy, who stand at the top of society, and leaving the poor at the bottom, and our society with an incredibly large gap. Therefore, it is my goal that the government implement policies to limit the power of big businesses in order to take money from these wealthy corporations and give it to these immigrants who have had their opportunities taken from them, and to reform the workplace. There's no reason that the American people who are hardworking and virtuous cannot tap into these vast resources and wealth of this great nation. This expansive nation has been built on the backs of its poor and badly treated immigrant communities, whether Irish, Jewish, Italian, or Chinese. These major corporations, opponents of any movement towards working safety, the unionization of labor force, or general growth in working class wages, have taken advantage of the capitalistic underpinnings of this nation for our own exploitation. If elected, I would push for restrictions on predatory pricing, vertical integration, and horizontal integration, disallowing these giant conglomerates from gaining their enormous power. These strategic tactics that are used by the country's largest conglomerates have little consideration for labor and the hands that built the success of the country. And I will even go so far as to implement taxes on these companies. The low tax scheme as it presently exists just seems to create a class of the perpetual poor and hardworking. Under my plan, corporations earning will have a progressive tax. For each dollar beyond a limit a corporation makes, a tax of 10% will be implemented. These monies will be used by the government to create a task force to monitor factory conditions, support Social Security, offer the working class people unemployment insurance, and community-wide job retraining and skills courses. No one should be subjected to intimidation by these massive corporations. Let's find a new way to make capitalism work for our community. A system of caring capitalism can help alleviate the awful conditions our workers face in the factories. No father or mother should need to risk their lives at work to put bread on the table. No child should be forced into labor and forego their education. If elected, I will work with my colleagues in Congress to design a system of bureaus for labor statistics, to enforce regulations in factories across the nation, and document the hardships faced by millions at the hands of wealthy corporations. The government will personally write a set of standards that the factories must meet, and if the Bureau of Labor Statistics finds that these factories are not up to code, they will be fined heavily. And this money in which they are fined will go into government social welfare programs to help raise up the poor. These measures are just the beginning of designing a capitalistic system that supports all Americans, not just a select few of us. We have our work cut out for us, and the road will be long. Ultimately, our dreams of a living minimum wage, a 5-day work week, and an 8-hour workday are within reach. I stand before you as an advocate on your behalf. Let's bolster our communities and use government the way it should be to support the country's hardworking citizens. Thank you.